What's up, guys? It's Cobra. The 2024 college football season is over, but the college football 25 content is going to continue. If you're just joining us, subscribe to the channel. We're building a great community here, and we'd love for you to join us. The 2026 season was fantastic for Zach Kittley and the FAU Owls. We finished with an 11-3 record, won the AAC championship, and we even won our first bowl game since 2019. We've developed the roster well, bringing in several good recruits and a few transfer portal players as well. But as the saying goes, job's not finished. Let's meet the 2027 team. Redshirt junior Kason Wiseman returns as our starting quarterback. He's coming off a solid sophomore campaign, but he can definitely continue developing. Redshirt senior Carson Kruger returns as our backup. He's developed into a very solid quarterback, and I really like him as our backup. Zach Grossman, one of the key recruits from the 2026 recruiting class, will be redshirting this season. And Jeremy Pape and Jordan Magwood haven't really developed as quickly as I've hoped, but they also remain on the roster this year. Redshirt senior Jamari Sands returns as our starting running back. I'm hoping he improves from last season, but we'll have to wait and see. Redshirt junior Tremonte Underwood Jr. and redshirt sophomore Ethan Irvin will be backing him up. And freshman DeAndre Aguilar could see some playing time as well. They also found an elite athlete in Danny Johnson, who's a two-way player, just like cover athlete Travis Hunter. He's going to be playing both sides of the ball this season, so look out for that. Junior wide receiver Jade Card will be lining up across from Johnson, with redshirt junior Leon Washington Jr. in the slot. And depth behind these guys include redshirt senior Jabari Smith, redshirt junior Jadrian Poindexter, and redshirt freshman Curtis Bean, Najee Unreen, and Cam Swan. Junior Temez Young takes over as our starting tight end. Sophomore Mike Zyman and freshman Joey Gonzalez will be depth behind him. Freshmen John Beatty and George Buck are also on the roster, but they probably won't see much playing time. At left tackle, redshirt senior Braden Ramey takes over as the starter, with Nicholas Turner and Cole Lamar as depth this season. Redshirt senior Ovi Dubre and redshirt sophomore Landon Rapkowicz will be our starting guards this season. Sophomore Hugh Lincoln and freshman Stephen Pepper, as well as freshman Doug Hendricks and freshman Caleb Shermer are all depth this season. At center, redshirt freshman Tavares Levis takes over as our starter. Freshman Rashad Rashid and Nick Lehman will be backing him up. Redshirt junior Ethan Profit takes over as our starting right tackle. Keon Rohe and freshman Orlando Rhodes will be backing him up. At defensive end, senior Gavench Marcelin and redshirt junior Camden Hardy will be blitzing from the edges. Redshirt senior Wilkie Denod will continue manning the inside this season. Juniors Cameron Gooden and Mike Segal, a transfer from Eastern Michigan. Redshirt sophomore Namari Brantley. Redshirt freshman Steven Jordan and true freshman JJ Savage are all depth this season. At defensive tackle, sophomores Rico Thomas and Nicholas Labinjo are coming off solid freshman campaigns. Fabian Kuma, Jay Drake, Dimitri Vereen, and Brian Vaughn are all backups for them this year. At outside linebacker, juniors Hector Chavez and Brian Blank are our starters. Trent Prater, who transfers from Jacksonville State, will be primary depth with redshirt juniors Sharquez Lee and Jarvis Johnson, as well as redshirt freshmen Roland Hook and Daryl Murphy, and true freshmen Titus Owen and Forrest Bullock. At middle linebacker, star junior Robert Lee and redshirt senior James Hurd are joined by true freshmen Tamani Mwamba and Jesse Huey. As a reminder, elite athlete and two-way star Danny Johnson will also be playing cornerback this season. Redshirt senior Chris Tooley III and redshirt junior Cameron Goggins are also starters at corner this season. They're joined by redshirt senior Jordan Saunders from Old Dominion and redshirt senior Antonio Robinson Jr. from Wake Forest. They'll likely be slot corners. Redshirt sophomore Zion Pere, freshman Akeem Goodrich, and freshman Joey Bulware are all depth this season. At free safety, redshirt junior Kyle Boylston returns as our starter. Redshirt juniors Mike Wright III and Jaheim Miller are joined by true freshman Tremaine Sneed as depth. At strong safety, redshirt senior Antonio Smith returns as our starter. Redshirt sophomore Quentin Durbin will be our nickelback this season. Redshirt sophomore Damon Allen and true freshman Brian Putasi fill out our depth. On special teams, All-American kicker Garrison Smith returns, and sophomore Alex Cox will continue punting for us. There are high expectations for the Owls in the 2027 season. The team showed a lot of promise last year, and with some big moves in the offseason, this roster is much improved. Taking a quick look at the 2027 recruiting class, we're hoping to add several pieces to this fast improving roster. We found a few gems and even got an instant commit from defensive tackle Devontae Dwyer. We've got some work to do though, and we'll continue updating as the season progresses.
The opportunity to throw the ball, so when you get in the game late, you're not handing it off. We were beating Central Michigan by 80-something points. He was still letting us throw the football. It's the defense's job to stop.
The old coaching cliche, go 1-0 every week, and for the first week, they get it done.
Great start to the season. That's what you want. You want to come out, find a way to win. Was it perfect? Absolutely not. You're going to find things to work on throughout the season, but 1-0, that's where
we opened the season with a home game against the FCS East. The offense played well, defeating the Astronauts 37-3. The defense really shined in this game though, and defensive end Gavench Marcelin earned Defensive Player of the Week with his 2-sack and 5 tackle for loss performance.
Guys, this is a really good win for this ball club as they put together consecutive victories.
And this season, that's what you got to do. You got to put together good weeks, build on each other, build that momentum, continue to grow as the season goes on.
Yeah, David, it's all about building confidence, and it's really important for these players to go out, work hard in practice, and see that hard.
Week 2 was a home game against the USF Bulls. The Owls came out hot in the first half and eventually defeated the Bulls 35-14. Cason Wiseman had a near-perfect game, and defensive tackle Nicholas Labinjo earned Defensive Player of the Week with his 2-sack and 2 tackle for loss performance.
You know what's great about rivalry games? Each side hates every wretched breath the other one sucks into their greedy lungs. Figuratively speaking, of course, and when you win, is that sweet.
It's glorious. To be able to brag, to be able to text message your buddies, to be able to post stuff on social media, it's a lot of fun. I think fans like it more than anybody, but it's something that every year you have a couple games start. This was one of them, Jesse. They took care of business, and now you move on to the next.
They really did. We saw some great individuals.
Week 3 was a road game against our rivals, the FIU Panthers. The Owls dominated this game, winning 37-7, and brought home the Shula Bowl trophy for the 21st time. Cason Wiseman performed well again with 4 touchdowns through the air.
A touchdown. They'll crank up this drive with the pass. Touchdown Owls! They tied the game and now they can win it with an extra point.
A lot of times you see those receivers as soon as they get by the DBs, you know, that hand goes straight up in the air. I got him. I got to step on him. He got to step on him. And the ball was thrown perfectly out in front. You can see he runs underneath it, gets it, and gets the long touchdown on the go route.
Lines up for the extra point and the win. And the extra point puts them on top by 1. What a thriller. What a confidence builder to be able to come up with a win like that in overtime.
This team has to love their ability to come up with big plays and big moments. How about in overtime, the individual efforts we saw, this team playing as a unit, doing enough and doing everything that was needed to get the W.
It's such an exciting game, up and down.
Week 4 was a road game against the Army Black Knights. The Owls battled from behind to win 24-23 in overtime. Defensive end Gavench Marcelin earned Defensive Player of the Week with his 4-sack and 6 tackle for loss performance. And following the game, 3-star tight end Quincy Soro committed to FAU. Week 5 was a tough road game against the Missouri Tigers.
Back to throw, it's Glover. Looking down the middle.
And he does it right here, man. Just lays out. That ball's coming in. You can see it from several.
They'll try to run for it. Now he's looking to throw. On 3rd and long, you'll have to turn it loose deep. Using the back as a receiver on the screen. He's brought down, but there's a flag on the field. Let's see which way that's going to go.
Defense.
3. Between the uprights, it's good.
This one, though, on this drive, it's about finding the one-on-one matchups that are in your favor and then exploiting them.
Out of a chunk of ground to cover on 3rd and long from the 41.
Encroachment, defense.
This drive. This time they need 6. Caught over the middle. Now the play fake. Slings it downfield. From the gun, wants to pass. He makes the catch at the end.
You keep being you, keep being aggressive.
Getting some heat. And then
Did, David. I mean, that was a masterclass in just reading coverage and being accurate.
they'll stop. Use the play fake. Now to throw. Unloads to the wideout. Fires and picked off. Now he'll pull it on the read. Still on his feet at the 45. Looking to go up top on 1st down. Have to settle for a field goal attempt. Never a doubt for this big-footed guy. From the gun, wants to pass. He's got his man.
The offense struggled in the first half, but the defense kept things close at 13-3 at halftime.
That they're going to be tougher here in the second half so that they can win this game.
It's complete. A huge pickup. Flying down the left side. Touchdown, Owls. He's looking to throw. Got it set up on the outside. He's ridden. This field goal kicker is going to face all the pressure in the world. Back to pass. It's Glover. Feeling some heat. Makes the grab. He's looking to throw. And on 3rd down, he drops to throw. Looking left. Makes it connect. Someone not clear on the snap count. It'll be a false start, and they'll move it back.
False start, offense.
3rd down. From here, it would be a 55-yarder. Trying to get to it. Straw find the rhythm on that last drive, Jesse. They had to punt it.
I think they got to be more physical, David. I think up.
He's looking to throw. Grabbed on the... Back to the air one more time. Fires to the wideout. Complete to Heat in this one. 3rd and goal. Touchdown, Florida Atlantic coming. You want to talk about building confidence? Coming through with clutch plays, making the winning plays at the right time can really set the course for the rest of the season.
Yeah, Reese, maturity and experience matters. And this team has guys that have played a lot of snaps. They've seen a lot of looks. And
But the Owls made adjustments, and the defense happened to shut out the Tigers in the second half. FAU eventually won 20-13, and following the game, the Owls got their first 4-star commitment in its history from free safety Terrell Durant. They also got commitments from 3-star cornerback Pat Pay and 2-star wide receiver Ramon Lorenzo.
The offense sputtered and stammered like a 73 AMC Pacer if they made one of those back then, and ultimately they come up short.
sounds like a beautiful car that you just want to run better, and that's the problem with this offense right now. They've got the guys to make the plays, just not able to execute here today.
Week 6 was a tough home game against the Washington State Cougars. It was a sloppy game for both teams, and the Owls fell 13-10. Defensive end Gavench Marcelin did earn Defensive Player of the Week with his 4-sack and 5-tackle for loss performance. And following the game, 3-star middle linebacker Jason Spielman and 3-star free safety Ray Tejada committed to FAU. During the Week 7 bye week, the Owls got commitments from a 3-star middle linebacker Tony Yazzie, 3-star defensive tackle Paul DeValve, and 3-star running back Jamerson Heaney. Week 8 was a tough home game against the number 8 North Texas Mean Green.
For it on 4th down by what they call here. Tackle is made. They'll run play action. These types of games, top 25 matchups, really determine whether you're going to be a contender. He's off to the races. The 30. He's at the 10. And he sprints to the end zone. He's looking to throw. Quick strike. From the gun, wants to pass. Unloads to the wideout. Wide open down. A different deal on 3rd and long. And the pressure. It's good. Defense will try to put together a drive. The deficit here is just 10 points, David, so
To keep applying that pressure.
fires to the wideout. finds a room to throw that one in there.
Huge. Be off a couple yards so you can help set up the blocks and give the receiver somewhere to go with it. It's hard.
Got some room, headed to the goal. The play action fake. They're trying to get to it.
Forgetting the quarterback.
A little too anxious along that offensive line. That'll be a false start.
False start on offense.
For this, 3rd and long from inside their own 20. On 3rd and long, he's going to have to throw for it. Finds him in the red zone. They're going to test that run defense to the right here. And he's sprinting. He'll take it. Another first down. Looking to move it through the air. Complete to the left. The snap sets up to throw. Unleashes to the end zone. Leaves it with the running back. Fakes his man out. Oh, it's out. After the incompletion, they go back up top. Blasted as he lets it go. And that ball is picked off. Got some room to run. And he's...
The Owls offense struggled, but the defense again kept things close, 17-14 at halftime.
3rd down play from the gun. Caught over the middle. It's 2nd and 10. They're setting up the screen.
And most importantly, get the first down.
Fires to the middle. He's got it. We check in with Kevin Connors. What's going on, Kevin?
Week in and week out, guys, you never know what's going to happen in college football. Check this out. Utah has the lead right now, but this Rice-Eccles crowd is restless. They just haven't been able to separate themselves yet.
The Mean Green offense will return to the field. Open space at the 25.
Like to try to get the ball going east-west. That time they generate a huge play going to the right side.
And the defense running toward the tape. From the gun, wants to pass. Throws to the wideout. It's complete.
You're used to that as offense. Like, football is so fast-paced now, and you switch.
Off play action. Looking to throw, and he needs a chunk play.
They've been able to just hand it off and go churn out yards. They've had this defense on their heels all game long. It's given them a big push.
Use the play fake. Now to throw. Hauls it in. Touchdown. 2nd and 13. On the ground. It's Gray. Still on his feet at the 45. But still, they need 2 more yards. Can they bang it in with the running game on 3rd down?
Neutral zone infraction. Defense.
Trying to get it done with the run here on 3rd and... He wants to start this drive with a pass. He unleashes a long one. Fires a bullet. Now it's picked off. Leaves it with the back. Everything will have to be clean from 55 yards away. He wants to throw. Punch one through from 45 yards away. Possessions, but they're going to go for it here on 4th down. On 2nd down, he'll let it fly. Grabbed over the middle. It's Washington sets him up on 2nd down. Unloads to the right. Well, some might think this head coach has a tough locker room speech after this one. I would suggest that he starts with, "That's just bad."
Bad. Or, as Reese Davis would say, ungood. Just very ungood performance. Flush this one down the toilet. Move on.
Unfortunately, the Mean Green pulled away late, defeating FAU 51-21. Defensive end Gavench Marcelin again earned Defensive Player of the Week with his 2-sack and 4 tackle for loss performance. Following the game, 3-star left guard Jaquez Elias, 3-star free safety Joe President, and 3-star cornerback Joe Gutierrez all committed to FAU.
And the offense choosing to just have the quarterback take a knee. All business today for this ball club. They come out and they get the win.
And that's all that matters. It's not always pretty. You don't always do everything you want to do or check all the boxes. But at the end of the game, Jesse, you want that W.
No doubt about it. They made the plays.
Week 9 was a home game against the Rice Owls. It was not a pretty game, but FAU won 17-3. The FAU defense recorded 2 safeties in this game to solidify the win. Following the game, the Owls got commitments from 3-star offensive tackle Isaiah Stranad, 3-star cornerback Frederick Hinish, and 3-star running back Desmond Lehman.
Going how we will wrap this one up. It's one thing to execute early in the game. Tight ball game, right at the end, you need the clutch plays. These guys deliver.
You can't teach that gene. You have people that can focus in the moment or they can't. Great job by the team.
Week 10 was a tough road game against the Tulsa Golden Hurricane. The Owls finally got their revenge, winning 29-24. Defensive end Gavench Marcelin again earned Defensive Player of the Week with his 5-sack and 6 tackle for loss performance. Following the game, 3-star quarterback Alonzo Qualls and 3-star running back Cam Corral committed to FAU.
After not really playing their best earlier this season, people said this team is bad.
Week 11 was a road game against the East Carolina Pirates. The Owls dominated this game to solidify a 31-7 win. Free safety Kyle Boylston recorded 2 interceptions to lead the Owls to victory.
Ready to snap it in victory formation. A strong, methodical, workmanlike effort from this team. No frills, just get the job done and get the win.
I love when you describe my teams like that. Just consistent, methodical, strong. I don't have to do things special every single week. All I'm supposed to do is get the W, and that's what they did.
And this is why practice is so important, guys. You can tell.
Week 12 was a road game against the Navy Midshipmen. The Owls defense continued its great season and earned the 20-6 win. Right outside linebacker Roland Hook earned Defensive Player of the Week with his 11 tackle, 1 sack, and 1 interception performance.
Out of the gun, the running back has it. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play. This one was a lot like a tennis match, back and forth, up and down, and they just couldn't quite score enough and get the key stop to get the win.
And defenses have changed, right? It's not about limiting to low points anymore, but you got to find ways to create turnovers and get that ball back to your offense so they can do their damage. Defense just needed to create a few more opportunities.
Week 13 was a home game against the Charlotte 49ers. Both teams battled for 4 quarters, but the Owls eventually fell 49-42 in a heartbreaker. Following the game, 4-star wide receiver Akeem Jamerson and 3-star linebacker Braden Godwin committed to FAU. During the Week 14 bye week, the Owls got commitments from 4-star quarterback Zach Childers, 4-star tight end David Marciano, and 3-star offensive tackle Oscar Maples. The Owls finished the regular season with a 9-3 record and a 6-2 conference record. Unfortunately, they finished 5th in the conference and missed out on the conference championship. Senior defensive end Gavench Marcelin finished with one of the best seasons statistically in history. In 12 games, he recorded 25 sacks, 40 tackles for loss, 2 forced fumbles, a fumble recovery, and a defensive touchdown. Marcelin was named the 2027 Heisman Trophy winner, and he also won Player of the Year, Best Defensive Player, Best Defensive End, and the Lombardi Award. Senior strong safety Antonio Smith was announced as the best defensive back. FAU received an invitation to play in the Military Bowl in Maryland against the number 20 Miami Hurricanes. The Owls had 2 players named All-Americans this season, Ethan Proffitt, who was a first-team All-American, and safety Antonio Smith, who was a second-team All-American. An update on the recruiting class. The Owls signed their first 4-star prospects in their young history. We found several gems that could have huge impacts in Boca Raton, and I'm extremely excited to see how well this recruiting class develops.
And hand the offense, choosing to just have the quarterback take a knee. The rankings, the odds makers, everything indicated that these guys had a big hill to climb. But they climbed it, they got to the top, and they get a landmark win.
And we know coaching staffs always do a great job trying to motivate their own guys and get them ready to play a ranked opponent. But David, to me, it looked like this team just wanted to do it. They came out, they were the more physical team, and they did what they had to do at the end of the day to get this win.
The Owls played in the Military Bowl in Maryland against the number 20 Miami Hurricanes. The defense stifled the Miami offense to earn a 15-3 victory. Following the Military Bowl, defensive coordinator John Masta announced that he was leaving Boca Raton to take the head coaching position at San Diego State. Zach Kitley extended an offer to Josh Blunt, a defensive coordinator with ties to Ohio, and later that week, it was announced that Blunt had accepted the position. The Owls finished the 2027 season with a 10-3 record. As good as the season as it was a bit of a regression from last season. Cason Wiseman was our leading passer. He He finished the season with 3,256 yards, 25 touchdowns, and 15 interceptions. It was a bit of a regression from last season, but hopefully things improve going into next year. Jamari Sands was our leading rusher. He finished the season with 878 yards and 4 touchdowns. Tremonte Underwood Jr., who scored 5 touchdowns this year, will likely be our starter next season. Leon Washington Jr. was our leading receiver again this year. He finished the season with 61 catches, 778 yards, and 4 touchdowns. Freshman star Danny Johnson showed off his skills, and he'll be exciting to watch next season. The offensive line was much improved from last season, only allowing 27 sacks. But with a few seniors graduating, the Owls may have some new faces on the offensive line. This defense has become one of the best units in the country. Junior middle linebacker Robert Lee led the team in tackles for the 3rd straight season, and senior defensive end Gavench Marcelin had one of the best seasons statistically in college football history. Garrison Smith was a solid kicker this season, but regressed overall. We might have to make a change here. Alex Cox improved greatly as a punter, but with the offense improving rapidly, he wasn't used as much this year, but he'll look to continue improving. Leon Washington Jr. was one of the best kick returners this season, scoring 2 touchdowns earlier in the year. Taking a moment to see all of the players who are graduating this season, we're losing a lot of talent, and they're definitely going to be missed next year. There were 2 players selected in the 2028 NFL Draft this year. Running back Jamari Sands was selected in the 3rd round, and safety Antonio Smith was selected in the 5th round. During the offseason, the Owls got commitments from senior middle linebacker Devin Smith from Kentucky, senior defensive end Tyshawn Reed from Duke, junior tight end Shakir Callis from Texas Tech, junior offensive guard Ada Demola Ajani from Toledo, senior cornerback LaVaris Stanford from UConn, and sophomore cornerback Marvin Teague from Navy, all in the transfer portal. FAU's 2027 recruiting class ranked 12th in the country and 1st in the American Conference. We signed 4 4-star players, 18 3-star players, and 1 2-star player, as well as 6 transfers from the portal. Despite the regression this season, there's a lot to look forward to, and the 2028 season can't come soon enough. Let me know who you're most excited to see play next year, and also how many wins you think the Owls will have next season. We'll see you in 2028.